start going out with somebody, they do one thing and you're like, man, do I continue to hang out? Is this shady or not?
Shady or not, the Bert Show will decide. Are you shady? You will be vetted. Shady or not, the Bert Show will decide. If you shady, you will regret it.
All right, in this case here, the man she's dating confessed he spent over a year trying to get her attention on Facebook through a whole bunch of different accounts. And she's like, is this weird or is it romantic? Hey, Bert Show, I think I got a story for your Shady or Not segment. So I've been speaking to this guy I met on one of many Facebook groups I'm in. This was an anime and manga group. Or is it manga? I think it's manga. Manga.
Not a clue.
No clue.
It is manga. We share the same interests and bonded over our divorce and our children. He lives in Florida. I live in Boston. I'm usually not up for a long-distance relationship, but it's been a few months of talking, and we get along swimmingly. Here's where I have a problem. Yesterday, while talking on the phone, he mentioned that it was very hard and took over a year to get my attention. I was confused and asked what he meant by that. He confessed that he's been writing to me on 3 different Facebook accounts to increase his chances of catching my attention. I was still confused and asked which accounts. I get a lot of messages since I'm active on many Facebook nerd groups, so I don't respond too often if it seems like the person is hitting on me. By the way, I did not phrase that, nerd. She said that, and I think nerd is a great word, actually. If you're a nerd, I think you take pride in that.
You should.
I'm not in these groups to date people, just to chat about my interests. He then proceeded to message me on the other 2 accounts, and then that's when it hit me. I vaguely remember these accounts. I encounter a ton of secondary accounts when it comes to Facebook nerd groups. Not everyone wants their family or friends to know they're interested in certain shows or genres. Or maybe they feel like they can be unapologetically themselves on a secondary account. Either way, I've never taken it further than just casual chatting until this guy. I stayed silent on the phone for a few minutes, just scrolling through the messages from all 3 accounts. I thought he only had 1 account, so to discover he had 2 more, and all 3 have been writing with me on and off over the years was a little weird to me. I explained this to my friend, and she thought it was romantic. I find it sneaky and weird. I want to mention that he wasn't hitting on me or speaking on these accounts. It was just casual conversation. It took him over a year, but he finally got my attention with a marry me message randomly. I had just posted something he agreed with in the group, and he just had to ask me to marry him. I took it as a joke and responded, yeah, sure, why not? I'm not doing anything at the moment. We laughed and proceeded to plan our imaginary wedding, and the rest was history.
Okay, that's cute.
I was having a terrible day, and that message just made me smile for a moment. So is this shady or romantic? Am I exaggerating? I tend to overthink things, so I don't know. P.S. Mo, this is for you. I'm a Sagittarius.
Sag.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Thanks and love you all.
Oh, man. So I was really, really leaning towards creepy there because there is a fine line between persistence and stalking. And I don't know if he's crossed it yet because the story about the fake wedding is so cute. Like the way he posted that marry me message randomly on something that she posted because he really agreed with her. So I'm veering into shady territory, but I'm not completely shaded yet.
This doesn't feel intrusive to me. Is it to you?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
For sure. I don't see, for me, the question isn't necessarily, is it shady? Because it's shady to me. It's more, does it matter? Since it worked and now you know him. If I knew this information, I would certainly feel away. A year of 3 different accounts to try to get someone's attention, that would be scary to me.
Yeah.
That you spent that much time putting that much effort into trying to get my attention. But if it worked and she didn't know if she was none the wiser and she likes him, what does it matter?
And he wasn't hitting on her with the other accounts.
Yeah.
Like it was just conversation. But still, man. And I do, and I know people do this, and I actually totally get it because, with my phone games and stuff like that, I don't know why, but there's a level of embarrassment there, and you don't want people to know that you play. So you create these alter accounts, these fake accounts, or I wouldn't even call them fake accounts. You just create an alter account so you can really embrace the gaming side of you, whatever. I totally get that. It's just using the different ones to message the same person when I feel like you should have just dedicated one to try to get to know that person.
I guess it's probably different for a woman also, because as a guy, if this is the scenario and she hit me up on 3 different accounts and was just creating conversation, then I found out about it, wouldn't bother me at all.
Really?
Yeah, it wouldn't feel dangerous. It would just feel like, I don't know, man, maybe in a certain way I might be flattered by it, actually.
Yeah, but again, there's a fine line between feeling flattered or feeling like somebody's obsessed with you.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very fine line.
Fine.
What you got, Cass?
For me, it hinges on one thing. Did you already have the other accounts, or did you create them specifically to talk to me? Because if you already had them and then you utilized them, I'm not really worried about it, especially because he wasn't like overly gross or hitting on her during them. But if he created them specifically to get her attention, then that's when I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. That's a little too much.
I don't know where that sweet spot is. Like, not showing me enough attention, showing me too much attention. But this one seems to be over the top for you.
No.
Mo is going, yeah.
It's over the top.
Yeah.
It's close to over the top, but we haven't quite reached the top yet.
So we really haven't helped her at all then.
I mean, he got to hold his breath to not fall off the top. That's how close he is to the ledge.
It's like the whale's about to, like the whale's at the top of the water, and it's about to jump out.
Just not there just yet.
Yeah.
Hey, go out with the dude, see if you have any kind of vibe at all. You don't end up like in his trunk or anything. And I'd say that's a green light.
In his defense, if you are attracted to a woman online and that's the only way to talk to her, it's hard. It's tough. You got to find a way to stand out. You got to find a way to get her attention. So it's not always the easiest thing to do. And he found his own way to do it.
Is it a red flag or not that he disclosed this information? Or is that a good sign that he disclosed it?
I think
I
that's a
think I was
great
going to say that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a great
The
sign.
the fact that he was open and upfront about that and she didn't find out.
Yeah.
I think we have a case of someone who just doesn't realize how socially weird what he did was. Like, he just wanted to talk to her, and maybe he's socially awkward and just doesn't get it.
I say go out with them, but definitely put like one of those Apple tags up your butt so people know where you are.
There's
100%.
other places you can put it besides up your butt, by the
He
way.
might find it, though. You got to put it somewhere he can't find it.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.